Nayeon is intelligent, diligent, detail-oriented, and deeply concerned with improving herself and the world around her. Virgo suns often have a reserved yet quietly confident presence, marked by humility and competence. But with the Sun in an opposition to Saturn in Pisces, her sense of identity and self-worth may often be challenged by internal doubts, fears of inadequacy, or uncertainty around her path. Saturn retrograde adds a layer of introspection and self-discipline, but it can also reflect a struggle to trust one's will and authority. This dynamic creates tension between the desire to stay grounded, practical, and in control, Virgo traits, and the pull toward surrender, intuition, and acceptance of what is, Pisces traits. It's a push-pull between structure and softness, between managing life and allowing it to unfold. In addition, this aspect can result in a strong sense of responsibility and a tendency to self-criticize or hold herself to impossibly high standards. However, with maturity, it often transforms into wisdom, emotional resilience, and the ability to manifest dreams in concrete, structured ways. Trines from Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn to her Sun offer deeply supportive energy, especially grounded in the stabilizing nature of the Earth element. Uranus in Capricorn gives her visionary practicality. She's able to think ahead, innovate, and challenge norms, all while maintaining a strong sense of structure and discipline. This aspect lends her a quiet originality and a rebellious streak that operates within the system rather than against it. It adds spark, spunk, and a fresh edge to her otherwise composed presence. Neptune in Capricorn, meanwhile, allows her to dream with purpose. She can envision ideals and then build tangible plans to bring them to life. While she may occasionally drift into fantasy or idealization, this aspect helps her remain rooted in reality. Her dreams aren't castles in the sky, they're blueprints she's capable of turning into something real. These combinations grant creative genius blended with strong work ethic, a fusion of visionary insight and the patience to follow through. Uranus and Neptune smooth out the harshness of the Sun-Saturn opposition, allowing her to dream beyond limitations and steadily work toward long-term success. Her moon falls either in Leo or Virgo, depending on her exact birth time. However, I lean toward a Leo moon, which aligns with her public charisma and inner pull toward visibility and stardom. A Leo moon brings warmth, expressiveness, and a natural desire to be loved, admired, and emotionally validated. She craves connection that makes her feel special, seen not just for what she does, but for who she is at heart. However, the moon's square to Pluto in Scorpio introduces a layer of emotional intensity and complexity. This aspect suggests power struggles, a need for control, and a deep, compulsive drive for emotional transformation. Vulnerability may be masked by strength or pride, but beneath the surface, she likely experiences profound emotional highs and lows that force her to confront herself again and again. It's a challenging placement, one that speaks to an inner world shaped by deep desires, fears, and the need for control. Her moon and Pluto in fixed signs create immense emotional resilience. She feels deeply, holds on tightly, and doesn't back down easily when emotionally invested. This square often signals someone who has strong instincts, a magnetic emotional aura, and an intense emotional drive to succeed or leave a mark. One of the strongest placements in her chart is her Mars in Scorpio. This Mars is in its domicile, giving her focused ambition, strategic power, and emotional depth in action. She doesn't act impulsively. Instead, she moves with intention, often driven by unspoken emotional currents and a desire for mastery. Mars here speaks to relentless determination, passion, and the courage to go after what she wants, no matter how long it takes. Combined with the Moon-Pluto square, this gives her a tenacious will and inner strength that may not be obvious at first glance, but is undeniably potent beneath the surface. Mercury in Libra makes her a diplomatic thinker. She communicates with tact, fairness, and a desire to create harmony. She's intellectually graceful, with a refined sense of balance and justice in her thoughts and words. However, the square to Uranus and Neptune disrupts this balance. The Uranus square adds mental brilliance, quick wit, and flashes of insight, but also inconsistency or unpredictability in thought patterns and communication. She may sometimes surprise others with unconventional ideas or a sharp tongue that contradicts her polished outer persona. The Neptune square, on the other hand, softens Mercury's sharpness, suggesting a tendency to lose focus, idealize, or drift into mental escapism. While it can cloud clarity or make it difficult to distinguish fantasy from fact, it also grants her a deeply imaginative, poetic mind, well-suited for storytelling, art, or spiritual reflection. Together, these Uranus and Neptune squares to Mercury reflect a mind that craves freedom, resists rigid thinking, and operates largely on intuition. Her thoughts may move in non-linear ways, but they're often rich with meaning. These aspects call for creative or expressive outlets, through art, performance, or visionary pursuits, to channel the mental fluidity and emotional depth that define her inner world. Venus in Libra is in its rulership as well, a placement of grace, charm, social magnetism, and refined aesthetic taste. This Venus radiates elegance, kindness, and a strong capacity to attract love, admiration, and beauty. Her natural diplomacy and emotional intelligence make her well-liked and socially adept. The sextile to Jupiter enhances this even more. Jupiter is the planet of growth and luck, and this harmonious contact to Venus creates romantic ease, social popularity, generosity, and emotional optimism. She likely attracts favorable circumstances in love and friendship, and tends to experience relationships that feel supportive, uplifting, and mutually beneficial. This aspect also gives her a strong sense of timing in relationships. She knows when to lean in and when to pull back. With Venus dignified and supported by Jupiter, she likely doesn't suffer much from one-sided love or emotional deprivation. There's a built-in sense of worthiness and reciprocity when it comes to affection. Nayeon's strengths lie in her charisma, creative brilliance, strong emotional will, grounded idealism, emotional magnetism, strategic power, and social grace. On the other hand, her challenges revolve around inner tension between perfectionism and self-doubt, tendency to idealize or mentally escape, emotional intensity that may be difficult to express openly, pressure to perform versus desire for authenticity. Nayeon's chart is a compelling blend of earthy diligence, watery depth, and airy elegance. She's not just beautiful and charming, she's internally powerful, emotionally intelligent, and creatively gifted. Her strengths lie in her ability to combine discipline with imagination, charm with strategy, and sensitivity with fierce emotional stamina. She may feel pulled between maintaining harmony and speaking her truth, between outer performance and inner authenticity, but when she chooses to align with her core rather than external approval, she becomes truly unstoppable.